Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be looking at Thorchain. This is going to be a lower time frame video. We do have our higher time frame video up above, so check that out if you haven't already. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. So in our previous video, what we were talking about was two options here. So we're looking for the potential that this move is still looking to complete to the downside here, where we were saying that this could actually be an A wave. We're looking for this B wave to form and then looking for this C wave down. Now we were also saying that potentially this B wave could actually be over here with just having a running flat, and we could be looking for the C wave to the downside. Now it is also possible, however, that we could be looking for something more along these lines here, where we are looking for the potential of a flat correction, where we are saying that this is an A wave, this is a B wave, and we're looking for a bigger 5-wave move to the upside. Now the common zone I would be looking for a 5-wave move to terminate, if we're looking at this as a flat correction, would be this 1618 to this 121 level. So this would be this $1.95 to this $3.38. Now the problem that we have here is because of the fact that we could also count this as a completed move into here as a B wave, what we need to be on the lookout for here is that we could actually start to see something like this forming here as a diagonal pattern. Now what this would mean is I would be looking at this as a wave 1, this is a wave 2, looking for another 3-wave down, 3-wave up, and another 3-wave down. So this would be looking for a contracting wedge shape pattern to form to the downside. Now if we were looking at this in this way, what we'd be saying is that at the moment we just have a 3-wave move to the upside. We also haven't hit this 1618, which is the most common target for wave 3, which is sitting here at this $1.61. Now if we fail to hit this level, what we need to be careful of is that we have actually come up here and hit this 1.382. So if we start to see price looking to fall away from this zone and we start to lose this low here, which is sitting at this level here of this 91 cents, this would then align more with the idea that we're still going to see this continuation to the downside here, where what I would be looking for then is a 3-wave move to the downside, looking to break this low over here, which is sitting towards us 78 cents, and then looking for this potential of this diagonal to the downside. So now if we are rather saying that we're looking for this idea of the flat to play out, where we're looking for this push to the upside here, we do have the potential that this could look to confirm. But if we come in here and have a look at the lower time frame stuff, what we can see is that this is potentially a wave 1, 2, and what we need to see for more confidence that this is a wave 3 is a move above this $1.61. Now it is always possible with these moves, we can get this as 1, 2, we get another 1, 2 here, and then we look to push up for the third wave. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that idea. If we do see this move look to correct to the downside, but we look to hold this $1.01 level, so if we do see something like this as a deeper retracement, potentially back into this high would be an interesting area, because that would be on this 0.618. But effectively, if we do see something like this, then we could be looking at this third wave just looking to extend out deeper, and what we would be looking for then is actually a much more powerful move to the upside. Now if however we are saying that this third wave could potentially be incomplete, what we are looking for is, like I said, this target here of this 161. Now we're going to come in here a little bit closer and we're going to discuss the subwaves of this move. Now if we are looking at this, the way that I'm currently counting this structure is looking at this move from here as 1, 2, this is another 1, 2 here, this all becomes our white wave 3 into the high. And then what I'm looking for here is evidence of this fourth wave. Now the common fourth wave target area is going to be this 135 to this 121, and we have had quite a strong third wave in this case. Now if this is the case, sometimes what we can see is we might develop a shorter fourth wave here, where we could see this 135 come into play, and that could actually be already met where we currently are. Now looking at the structure we have here, what we need to be on the lookout for is that we don't have something like this as A, B, C, D, and E, and then we have one more push to the downside here before a push up in this fifth wave, in which case what we could then be looking for is the potential to see this target push up here towards this 158 to this 152. If however this fourth wave is going to actually look to push down one more time, and what we're saying here is that this move to the downside is a W, what we could also get here is that this move is A, B, and then we're going to still see a C wave to the downside. So if we see a smaller 5-wave move to the downside, looking to target out this zone here of this 129, this would align with the idea of this being still within a fourth wave here, and then we'd be looking for that fifth wave up. If we start to lose $1.21, this becomes less likely, and what we need to be careful of is that if we do see a push down into this level and we start to hit this 1618 zone, we need to be careful of the idea that this could actually be an impulse off the high here. And we have this as 1212 here. We get 345 down to this level, then we get another fourth and a fifth. Now, if we did get this bigger idea of a bigger 5-wave structure like this would tie in more to either the idea that we're going to start to break down in another bigger zigzag, or alternatively, this could actually be wave 1, and then we get 3 waves up and then see that continuation down. So we need to be careful how this wave actually develops here, because we still do have that downside potential. Now, within this idea here, what we'd be saying is that we have the white count over here where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then after this completes, what we'd be looking for would be an additional fourth and a fifth. So the target area that we could potentially look to push up to is this $1.70 to this $1.62 in the blue count. If we continue to hold these support zones here, like I said, if we fail to hold that level, what we could still see is that this price action could complete into this high, and then we could still see 3 waves back to the downside here, and then we could look for that continuation from this point. But if we start to lose this $1 level, it starts to become less likely that this bullish case is actually in play here. And like I said, what we are looking for here for more confidence within this move is the idea that we're going to hit this 161. So if we do continue to hold these fourths and fifths and look to push up here 2 more times, this would align with the idea of this third wave coming up into this 161 level. And then what we'd be looking for from that point would be a 3-wave move. Now, if we do get this push up into this zone, what I would then be looking for is that idea, like I said, 3 waves down, potentially to around this 129. We'll get a better idea once we get some structure here we can work with, but effectively then we'd be looking for this potential that we could have a 5-wave move off the low here, which could look to push us up towards this 184 to this 170. Now, if we overlay that other idea here of the flat, we can see that this would actually fall short of that 121, which is sitting up here at this 195. So we always need to be careful that if we're developing an impulse, we might get extension within some of the waves. So this wave 3 can sometimes surpass this 1618 level, and we'll have to keep an eye on this internally. Like I said, at the moment, I'm expecting another 2 5-wave structures if this is going to develop as the impulse as we had it laid out within these internals here. If, however, what we start to see is that we get something like this, where we get this move here, we get this as a 3-wave move down, and then we start to push up in a much bigger way, it could be that we have even more extension going on within the wave. So this is why at the moment, the most crucial thing to me is to see how we react in this zone. If we hold this 121 level, what I will be looking for is a continuation to the upside in this 5th wave. If we then complete this white 5th wave, we need to see whether we get that additional 4th and 5th looking to play out. Having a look at the daily CPR lines here, what we can see is that we are currently underneath our central lines, which is sitting at this 137. Now, this is actually indicating volatility here, and we are currently below these levels. If we do continue to hold below these levels, what we could see is price could actually be gravitated back down towards this 126.88, which would align with coming back into this S1 line. If we're going to continue to look to trend, I wouldn't like to see us move much lower than this level here. And if we throw this other count on, we can see that this is aligning quite nicely here with this 127.50, which is going to be that 0.382 retracement. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that level if we do see price looking to push down there. If we look to lose that zone, other targets become this $1.15, $1.04, and this 93 cents for today. If we do see price actually look to reverse and get back above these central lines here, what we could see is a move back up here towards this 149 to retest this R1 line. If we do see this area actually get flipped into support, what we can then see as potential for today is a move up towards this 160, this 171, and this 182 as possible upside targets. Now we're going to come over here and have a look at the weekly CPRs now. And what we can see on the weekly CPR is that we've actually printed a much higher weekly CPR. We can see that this one was actually showing us that there was going to be volatility because the lines are very tightly spread here, and we started to trend to the upside here. And now we can see that our CPR line is higher here, but it is also wider. So this is normally indicating that we could see some sideways choppy action looking to play out. So if we do see price form a structure to the downside, something like this, what I would be on the lookout for is that we could actually just see a bigger 3-wave structure looking to develop in this area. Alternatively, if we do look to push down here, we could look to find support here on this 132, this 126, and this 120 level before looking for that continuation to the upside in that fifth wave like we discussed. If we do see price look to actually push up here, other targets for this month is this 160, 182, and this 160 and this 216. So that is for this week. Now if we do lose our central lines here and we do start to push to the downside, targets are this $1.04, we have this 70 cents, and this 47.78 as potential downside targets for this week. Now if we come over here and have a look at the monthly pivots, what we can see is that we have met all our requirements for this month. We've actually pushed up through all these zones. If we do look to come back down here, we'll be looking to see if we find support on this 125.99 with this $1.18 and this $1.05 as potential support zones above our central lines. If we do look to come back all the way down here, $1.98 and this 96 cents are potential support zones below. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these levels. If we do see that three-wave move to the downside, this could align with coming back into this R3 line, in which case we could then look for either some kind of a continuation up or a more corrective structure looking to develop in this area. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.